In today's video, I'll be discussing Usopp's Kabuto and what it would look like in Grand Peace Online. I will be specifically talking about the Kuro Kabuto, as this is Usopp's current weapon in the series. These weapons are very unique and in my opinion would help to bring the gun builds into the meta in Grand Peace Online. The lack of viable block breaks make guns somewhat obsolete in Grand Peace Online PvP, but if the weapon like a Kabuto was added, it would have a versatile moveset that would rival other meta weapons like Trident or Bisento. In fact, a better comparison might be between Kabuto and one sword style, since the Kabuto would likely have more than 2 or 3 moves, which is the usual amount given to a simple boss drop. However, ultimately, this decision belongs to the devs and they'll choose how many moves to add to the weapon. I'm going to be referencing the Kabuto in One Piece Final Chapter 2 in this video, since this was the only time I've seen this in a One Piece game before. I'm sure other One Piece games have it too, but One Piece Final Chapter 2 was the first game that came to mind. So one move I'd like to focus on particularly is the Green Star Devil. This move allows Usopp to summon a huge Venus flytrap which then attacks nearby enemies. I could see this being useful in Grand Peace Online, as you could use it to farm NPCs or attack your opponent while you get some distance. I also imagine it'd have a certain amount of HP and would likely have a bite type move. This would help make the weapon more viable in PvP, as your opponent would have to effectively fight these huge Venus flytrap monsters while you can stay back and bombard them with ranged attacks. This move was in One Piece Final Chapter 2 and I'll show a clip on screen of it now. Of course, all credit for these clips goes to Sensei Wave and his channel will be linked in the description below, so make sure to go support him and subscribe to him. He hasn't uploaded in a while, but just go subscribe because these are his clips and I am using them in my video. In One Piece Final Chapter 2, you could summon multiple of these Venus flytraps and this could be an interesting mechanic in Grand Peace Online, but it would also definitely have to be balanced so that it wouldn't be too overpowered. A second move I think would fit into the game well would be Green Star Bamboo Javelin. This is a pretty self-explanatory move, but basically it causes bamboo spikes to appear in a certain area, impaling and potentially stunning your opponent. I like this move a lot and I think it would make an awesome block break for Kabuto, and I think it would also be a stun, should be helpful to pull off combos from a range. Again, this move was used in One Piece Final Chapter 2, so I'll show a clip on screen of that now. I really like what they did with this move in the game, and I think Grand Peace Online could probably do much better because they have better models, better animations, and I believe in the skills of the devs. Like if they had someone like the noob or even just Furyu working on this weapon, they could do an amazing job. I know for a fact. There are lots of other pop greens other than the 2 I mentioned, so there's lots of other moves to choose from. One thing that I do want to talk about is the pop greens themselves. Pop greens are basically just seeds that Usopp acquired during his time in the Boan Archipelago of Heracles. The easiest way to implement them into Grand Peace Online would be to just give the Kabuto user infinite pop green attacks. However, I think it would be much more interesting if there was actually a quest line where you had to acquire all the pop greens across the map. Maybe each time you unlocked one of the pop greens, you can use that as many times as you want, but you still have to do the initial quest to unlock it. This would give players an incentive to actually travel the map and could be a cool way to introduce the weapon into the game without it just becoming a low drop chance boss drop. Alright, I'm going to end the video by discussing some more pop greens that I'd like to see added to the game, and I'm going to go in depth on how I think they would work in Grand Peace Online. Alright, so one pop green I think would work really well would be the Green Star Plantanus Shuriken. This move is basically self-explanatory and involves Usopp firing a bunch of, star-shaped plants that look like shurikens, as the name would suggest. I could see this being useful in Grand Peace Online, as it would help get that extra damage during combos. One combo that immediately jumps out to me would be using Bamboo Javelin to block break and stun an opponent, and then hitting them with Plantanus Shuriken to get in that key damage. The next move is pretty easy to grasp, and that is Green Star Skull Bombgrass. This is basically just an explosion attack, but it looks cooler because it's a skull type explosion. I think this would fit into GPO really well and could even be a block break, but outside of being a block break, it would still have really good AoE for a ranged attack. This reminds me of something I should probably mention. All these moves to be viable, they would have to be quick. The issue with weapons like Burn Bazooka and regular Bazooka is that they are slow. I hope that Usopp's Kuro Kabuto will be much faster than this and have less reload time. I do quickly want to mention mention this next pop green, as it is pretty simple and easy to explain, and that is the pop green of Green Star Sleep Grass. So this is pretty self-explanatory again, like most of them are, the names are pretty obvious, but Sleep Grass is literally just a form of sleeping gas attack, but in the form of a flower. This could be a cool mechanic that could even be used to temporarily knock a player unconscious in Grand Peace Online, which would then give the user the Kuro Kabuto time to bombard them with every single attack in their arsenal. The last pop green I want to talk about is Green Star Boaty Banana. This is probably my favorite pop green, because it's just so goofy, but at the same time, it's really practical as well. In game, it would also be pretty useful, since you could just use it to save yourself from falling into water, or you could use it to like just get a free boat, effectively. It's definitely a really fun feature that I hope gets added to the game when they add Kuro Kabuto. Well, that's all I really want to say about pop greens and Usopp's Kuro Kabuto. As always, I try to keep my videos an open discussion, so feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. With that out of the way, I hope you're having a great day, evening, whatever time it is for you, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye guys.